In today's video, I want to talk to you about mindfulness. What is a mindfulness practice? How can we do it in a very realistic way? And walk you through a 5-minute reset for parents that feel completely overstimulated by life. Our kids are not the only ones that are in an environment that is constantly overstimulated. As parents, we deal with the exact same things, and we need to be able to quickly reset ourselves. So today I'm going to walk you through a 5-minute reset. But before we get into that, I want to be able to just talk to you about mindfulness, because this 5-minute reset is actually going to be based upon a mindfulness exercise. So let's begin to shift the way that we talk about mindfulness, because you'll notice that I called it an exercise. And that's exactly what mindfulness is. Instead of looking at it as a mindfulness practice, which is probably what you've heard quite a bit, because mindfulness is very popular now. And if you're like me and you've tried mindfulness in the past, you may have become extremely discouraged and wondered why you suck at mindfulness so much, because we have this idea in our heads that mindfulness is supposed to be all about zen and quiet and being able to quiet your minds and quiet your thoughts. And when you're an overstimulated parent, that may just not be very realistic, because you constantly have chatter and life going on around you, and you got everything going on in your own head. So let's talk about mindfulness as an exercise. And just like going into the gym, when you go in and you want to get better at lifting weights, you don't just go in and you pick up heavy weights the very first time you're in the gym. You have to go in and you have to exercise. You have to exercise frequently in order to get to have that bigger lift more weight. And so your mind is exactly the same way. We have to begin to exercise and to put a mindfulness exercise into place in order to get better at it. So I want to walk you through a really simple way that you can begin to get better at mindfulness. And here's the deal. What is like the end result of actually becoming good at mindfulness? Why is it worth investing your time and your energy into? Because your thoughts can get the best of you. Your thoughts are what then drive all kinds of emotional responses and behaviors. And a lot of times that's when our not so great moments pop up. You may lash out at your kids. You may have a really bad day, or just sit and go inward, and then you get really horrible sleep. Like, you just can't seem to catch these thoughts because they're just constantly flooding your mind, and like I said, they're getting the best of you. So through this mindfulness practice and this exercise, and we're starting off really small, this is going to allow you to begin to catch those thoughts. And then you're going to begin to have control over your thoughts and be able to pull them back in really quickly, instead of letting them manifest into a horrible day, poor behaviors, poor decision making that is ultimately impacting your physical and your mental health. Okay, so this is literally how you are going to start the process and get better over time. So this 5-minute reset is for beginners, for those of you that are wanting to actually work on how to take back control of being overstimulated, but begin to put a mindfulness exercise into place. So during the first minute, I just want you to find somewhere that you feel comfortable. It may not necessarily be somewhere that's completely quiet, but if you can just find yourself in a comfortable position. So during that first 60 seconds, I want you just to be able to sit somewhere, to lay down, to find somewhere that feels comforting for you. Me personally, I have a chair that is in my living room over here in the corner that is by a window. And so for me, that's just a nice place that I can get some sunlight. I feel like I'm relaxed, I'm very comfortable, and typically I'm in a seated position and I'm not even laying down. But find a comfortable position. Then going into the second minute, I want you to begin to just do a body scan. Start from the top of your head and just work down to the bottom of your feet, all the way to the tips of your toes. Scan your body. Find out, like, loosen your shoulders. Like, where are you carrying that tension? Where do you feel like you're just really tight and you're wound up? Be able to check in with your body. Check in with those parts of your body. Let your body relax. Just feel yourself being able to just like melt into that chair. Feel your body just begin to loosen. That's going to be what you're going to do in minute number 2. During minute number 3, we're going to begin to just focus on your breathing. There isn't any particular way that you need to be breathing as you're just starting your mindfulness practice and as you are resetting your body. Just pay attention to your breath. Breathe normally. How does your breath feel going in through your nose? How does it feel going out through your mouth? Are you breathing heavy? Are you breathing slowly? Are you struggling to breathe? Is it hard to get some deep breaths? Just begin to pay attention to your breath. And then listen to your heartbeat. If you need to, even place your hand upon your heart and just be able to feel your heartbeat. Notice, is your heartbeat increasing? Do you find it beginning to slow down over time? Get in touch with your body. This is a fun exercise that I also do with my son. Whenever he is beginning to have a meltdown or getting a little bit wound up, I get down at his level, I put him on my knee, and my son is autistic, and he's nonverbal, so I have to have very tactile cues in order to be able to help him recenter. So this is something that we started about 6 months ago now, and he's 3 years old, and so I actually grab his hand and I put it on his heart, and I tell him that this is his heart, and I do a tapping motion with my hand and say, heart, heart, heart. And we just begin that tapping so that way he actually feels a sensation on his body, helping him actually get in touch with his body instead of dealing with so much of the stimulus going on around him that is causing him to have some type of meltdown. So this is something, once you get good at it, you can also begin to practice this with your kids. And we are back. My battery died, and so let me try to remember exactly where I was. So minute number 4, I believe, when we are working on our mindfulness practice. So after you have done your body scan and you are in touch with your breathing, now I want you to begin to recognize your thoughts. Now this is where mindfulness has screwed up in the past when you've tried it and you became extremely frustrated, because the point is to be able to just let your thoughts come and go and to not stay fixated on them. But just because we are normal, busy parents and have a dozen things going on, we tend to get stuck and our thoughts begin to lead us elsewhere. So this is the exercise part of it. Recognize that you're distracted. Recognize that your thoughts are beginning to drift off and you're starting to think about what you're going to cook for dinner, what's on your to-do list, who's going to pick up the kids, I hope practice doesn't run late. Literally, the list goes on and on. But catch those thoughts. Be able to tap back in and be like, okay, nope, like I'm gonna stop thinking about this. Like I'm back in my body, I'm back in my breathing. And then a couple seconds later, you may begin to notice that the exact same thing begins to happen and just bring yourself back. This is the exercise part of it. This is where you put in the reps, because every time that you notice your thoughts are beginning to get away from you, you're able to say, nope, gotcha. Let's get back into our body. Let's get back to where we are right now and what's actually happening in this moment. So that's where the work is really going to happen, is in minute number 4. Minute number 5 is when we are exiting our reset and we're beginning to say, okay, have grace with myself. Like, I'm human, the day is busy, I'm overstimulated, I'm tired, but what can I do in this next few minutes in order to take care of myself? Because I've given myself some time right now to actually reset and to recenter. I got this, I got the day, I'm in touch with myself, like I can do this. wrap up with some affirmations, be able to say to yourself that you're doing a great job, actually learn to believe it, and be able to move on with your day. This is exactly the process that you need to follow in your 5-minute reset when you are feeling overly stimulated, overly exhausted, and tired in order to be able to begin the process of actually using a mindfulness exercise in your day-to-day routine. Here's the challenge for you over the next 7 days. I want you to begin to do this for just 5 minutes a day. Because again, it's an exercise. You have to do it over and over again. You have to put in the reps. So start with just 5 minutes a day. Then look at the next week, increase it to 7 minutes if you have the ability to do that. When you're able to get into a mindfulness practice for up to about 20 minutes, this is when you're going to notice the biggest differences to your thoughts, your behaviors, and your emotions, because you're going to begin to start to catch these thoughts more quickly and to know that, hey, I am in charge of you, mind. You are not in charge of me, and you are not in control. I am in control. So you're going to be able to actually have some really good conversations with these thoughts, to challenge these negative thoughts, to challenge these thoughts that are not doing you or not serving you in any way, so that way you can begin to control your emotions and your behaviors to overall be healthier and happier. I created a healthy living course that actually has a lesson completely on mindfulness. I'm going to link that in the description. You can go check it out. But in this course, I literally walk you through how to begin to master your mindset, but also my step-by-step framework on how you can begin to develop healthy, simple habits in your day-to-day routine with a busy schedule that is actually going to have some really big impacts on your overall health, your relationships, your happiness, and have you feeling just overall more balanced, which is exactly what every busy parent needs in their life. I'm Seisha. I'm a licensed therapist. Thanks for joining me, and I'm a health coach. I look forward to staying in touch with you. Drop in the comments what you need some more help with, what kind of videos you would like to see, so that way I can tailor my content to be able to help you, parents, be able to thrive and not just feel like you're in survival mode, because that is no way for us to live. Talk to you soon.